Welcome to Finding Your Worth From Within, the podcast where I'm going to be helping you up-level your life, find your true self, and ignite the best version of you. I'm your host, Aman Sunner, your go-to self-worth mentor, facilitating hundreds of women to unlock your self-belief, master your emotions, and take back control of negative thoughts. We're going to be covering everything self-worth for South Asian women, how to ditch your self-doubt, kick other people's judgment to the curb, and learn how to finally use your voice clearly and with confidence. With the practical tools and spiritual teachings that I give you in this podcast, don't be surprised when this magic begins to massively elevate your life. So whether you're going for a walk, driving home, or listening with a cup of coffee, let's get stuck in. Hey, and welcome back to Finding Your Worth From Within. Today is a little bit of a different episode from normal. So I am sharing with you an interview that I did with Veena from Founder in the Chair. And she spoke to me all about my journey as a business owner, what that looked like, and how that affected my self-worth, how I managed motherhood, and the highs and lows of business. So I hope you enjoy, and let's get stuck in.
Welcome to an episode of Founder in the Chair. Today my guest is a go-to self-worth mentor, helping South Asian women from the inside out. Now, have you ever heard of a go-to self-worth mentor? You're going to meet her today. She's amazing. Not only does she do this, but she has also recently launched a very successful podcast, which she's going to tell you about. I am proud to introduce today Aman Sunner in the Founder's Chair today. Welcome, Aman.
Hi, Veena.
How are you?
I'm good, thank you. Thank you for having me here. I'm really excited about today.
Oh, why are you excited?
Because it's different. It's different. Like, I've done podcasts, I've done interviews with people before where we're talking about the work I do in self-worth, and I love that. But today, you want to hear about the founder in the chair.
Yeah.
And I'm excited to talk about, but I don't really talk about the journey of business, so...
And that's what sometimes people, all they see is the glossy side. Yeah. And, oh, look at her doing so well. Look at her with her podcast. But they don't see the graft behind the scenes. So, Aman, a self-worth mentor, what is that?
Oh, my God. What isn't that? So basically, I help women unlock their self-belief, master emotions, and take back control from negative thoughts. So by that, I mean... I help them tune into who they really are. And you might say unlock their self-belief. Okay, what does that look like? So I believe everybody has a light inside of them. Okay. And that light over years, over life, just gets dimmed and dimmed because things happen, emotions happen, feelings happen, and it just gets pushed further and further down because we don't process those emotions, we don't process those situations. So each time we kind of put something under the rug or shove it down or ignore it, that light just dims out. So what I help women do is transform their beliefs because, I mean, everybody has these thoughts that get carried away with them, and next thing you know, these negative thoughts, you're in a spiral of negative thoughts. We transform them. We get you to understand your mind and beliefs and where that's coming from. We unravel all this crap, if you want to say, that's shoved down inside, and allow that light to shine bright so that your emotions are running freely and flowing, and your energy in turn is doing the same as well.
Wow.
Yeah.
So what made you think of turning this into a business?
So it was actually through my own journey.
Okay.
I was a beauty therapist before this.
I did not know that about you until you told me the other day.
Yeah. So actually, I've done many things. Before beauty, I was in the events industry. Okay. So I've always been service sector.
Okay.
Before that was retail. But yeah, events, then beauty therapy. And I was in my beauty therapy business. And it came to a point where I was kind of started to think like, what, you know, when people start asking, where do you want to be in 5 years' time? What do you want to do? And I was like, I think I want to go into counselling. And I started to very lightly explore that possibility. And it just didn't feel right for some reason. And then through my own journey, because outwardly I was always very confident, I was always very bubbly, sociable, all that. But I lacked inner belief. And if anybody that knows me from my beauty business that's followed me to my coaching can see the difference. I treated the beauty business like a hobby because I didn't really believe in myself. Like, people would ask questions and for some reason I'd cringe inside and think, oh my God, what if I've got this wrong? And I'd have to really talk myself. I'm like, Aman, you know the anatomy and physiology behind this. You know what you're doing. It's okay. But it's because I didn't have that self-belief. So I went on a journey of exploration to see what was going on with me. And through that, I understood that I didn't feel good enough. And through that, when I was doing the work on myself, I was like, oh my goodness, this is what I'm supposed to be doing. This is it. It's coaching. And if I can feel different, oh my God, I can help so many other women feel different. I can do this. Because I realised as South Asian women, what we kind of take as feeling normal isn't normal. It's not how we're supposed to feel. We are not supposed to put every Tom, Dick and Harry before us.
Yeah.
And that feeling of empowerment and light and that joy, getting that light back inside of me, reigniting that, I was like, I can help other women do this. Yeah, we can do this.
Because as a beauty therapist, people come in and they lie on your couch and they just tell you all their problems.
Yeah.
You start coaching them without realising it.
So many of my clients were like, it's not surprising. It's not surprising. And I had many people in the middle of a massage just burst out crying or getting their nails done, and they're telling me everything. And it was such a natural progression for me.
I love that. So, Aman, what would you say then as a self-worth mentor? So you were doing the beauty treatments, you decided to do the career change. Firstly, what sort of courses did you have to do? So if somebody is listening right now and they're thinking, I want to do what Aman does, how do they go about it?
So for me, because I'm quite a spiritual person, and I always have been, I looked into and did a lot of research on coaching. And there's different types of coaching. There's NLP coaching, there's ICF coaching, there's so many different versions. And researching different ones, they just weren't clicking for me. They weren't aligning. And then I came across an academy that talked about spirituality and talked about coaching and talked about NLP techniques and talked about forgiveness. And I was like, oh, this is it. So it's about researching what's right for you. So I did that certification with a coaching academy.
Okay.
And I was actually quite lucky because it was an online program that we needed to do and attend classes and kind of do the coaching and get those coaching hours in order to get certificated. Yeah. So the reason I was quite lucky was because it was COVID. So my business was closed, the beauty business was, but the kids were at school.
Okay.
So I just knocked them hours out. Yeah.
Brilliant. So how long did it take you?
So for me, I did it in 4 months because I was able to. I was lucky enough to have that time to put in every day.
So once you finished, and obviously it's COVID, how did you start practicing then? Because I'm guessing you had to do case studies.
Yeah, so this was part of the certification. The case studies were part of the certification. Then even after that, I got a couple of practice clients in. So it was more, I say clients because it started off as friends, people that were going through things. And I was like, how do you feel about, I want to take you through these steps. And as I did, they were like, oh my God, this is amazing. Like, oh my God, Aman. And as that then started and progressed, I was able to begin to charge for the services. But alongside that, I was building my Instagram, building the audience. And because actually the academy that I trained with did a bit of business training as well. So helped us understand as a coach what we needed to do. Yeah. So alongside doing those modules, doing the coaching hours, I was building up the Instagram, building up the understanding and education.
Let me ask you a question there, because you said you tried it with friends. Were you able to charge your friends?
So for the first few, no, because I wanted to do practice. I wanted to just be, it's almost that thing inside, wasn't it? You're brand new at this. I want to make sure I can do it right. So it was just somebody that had a conversation with me and she was like, oh, I'm looking at this. And I was like, I can help you because I want practice clients for X, Y, and Z. And she was like, yep, great.
So if you do have friends or family that want to work with you, is it easy to charge them?
I actually don't work with friends or family.
Okay.
I refer friends and family to other people. I will give them advice and I will do little snippets of, because what I haven't mentioned so far is that I use different modalities. So I mix spirituality and science. So I will consciously coach people, but also clear their energy as well. Okay. So the conscious coaching side with friends and family just comes in normal conversation. We'll be like, okay, I'm like, and I'll often say, do you want Aman or do you want kind of coach? Yeah. Because if I'm your friend, I'm going to give you a very different answer to if I'm the coach, right?
Yeah.
And by that, I mean friends get emotionally invested in somebody's situation. It's like, oh my God, let me roll my sleeves up and all that kind of thing.
Who do you want me to beat up for you?
Exactly, right? So it's kind of like, okay, do you want Aman your friend, or do you want Aman the coach? And that will come in the normal conversation. Whereas the energy clearing, I will sometimes kind of go in and be like, can I clear your energy? Have I got access to it? Because I just feel like you need a bit of a cleanse. Long-term coaching, I refer people to other coaches that I know.
Okay. So you said about the spirituality part and the coaching. So when someone comes to you for coaching, so for example, if I went to somebody for coaching, I wouldn't expect them to be doing anything spiritual. How do people take that when you say, well, I'm going to do a bit of spiritual work with you as well?
So anybody that comes to me has usually followed me on Instagram. And on Instagram, you will understand the type of work I do. You will understand because it's very evident through my posts, through my messaging. And I actually say, like, we consciously cope, subconsciously reprogram, and energy clear. And even when you're booking your explore call with me, because I always have a call with somebody, like a 30-minute call, to understand where they're at, what's going on with them, and if I'm the best answer or solution for them. And even if my energy works with them, I don't work with anybody. Like, we'll see if we're a good mesh and align. And on that call, I'll ask then, do I have access to your energy? Because as we're talking, I'm quite intuitive and I can pick up on things that you may not even realise. So they already understand it's just a natural thing.
Interesting. So what is your USP? If someone's working with you and someone said, well, man, why should I work with you? Why you?
So what I do is I use a four body framework. And by that, I say we work on the 4 bodies that I believe and that I take my clients through. We work on your mental body, which is your beliefs, your mindset. Now, mindset and beliefs are very different things. I always say your mindset is the conscious part of your brain, the part of your brain that you know works daily, oh my God, I need to go to the toilet, it's cold, or I don't think I can speak up right now, I don't want to sound stupid. All those little thoughts in your brain, that's your conscious brain, part of your brain, and that is your mindset. Now, actually, that's only 5% of your brain. 95% of your brain is the subconscious part of it. Now, how I refer to this is, if you imagine when you're working in an office block, you've got your desktop in front of you, your laptop, and that's your conscious because you know what you're working on, the windows pop up. The subconscious part is the comms room that you don't know, where all the racks of hard drives are, all of that, all the wires. That's your programming and that's your subconscious brain. Now, this is created from the ages of 0 to 7 when life experiences happen, references, opinions, memories are made. And sometimes you'll do things. And when someone questions, why do you do that? You'll go, I don't know, just always done that. That's your subconscious mind. That's where your beliefs lie. So those 2 things, mindset and beliefs, are what make up your mental body. We work on that. Then you've got your emotional body. These are emotions, hurt, anger, betrayal, grief, not feeling good enough. All of that is your emotional body. We need to release from that as well. So you reprogram the mind, you work on releasing the emotions, and that is, oh my goodness, my clients sometimes are like, I'm sorry for crying, and I'm like, please cry more. Give me a good old sob fest, because the more you release, the better, right? Understanding these emotions and releasing them. Now, the third is your physical body. Now, this is one of the steps that often people miss out. How many people get anxiety in their chest or IBS in their stomach, feel a physical feeling? That physical feeling is actually stored emotion and energy. It manifests as a physical ailment. So for somebody that feels like they're not good enough, they may suffer from IBS, they may suffer from churning stomach. For me, I used to get anxiety and it was in my chest a lot. So the emotion was hidden behind anxiety, but because I wasn't tapping into the emotion, anxiety in my chest is what the physical body showed me, right? So we work on releasing it from your physical as well. And we do that with things like tapping, shadow work. A lot of the energy clearing helps with that. Clients afterwards will be like, oh, I feel so much lighter. I feel so much, oh my God, I can feel the difference. That's your physical. And then your energy body is your spiritual body, your energy body is your energy field. It's what spirituality calls your aura, but science calls your energetic field. Okay. And that is what I'm able to see in clients, and I'll kind of say, right, okay, your energy field's very clouded. Can I clear it? Or in that energy field is where I say the magic lies, because that's like the special key. And I'll say, okay, I can see in your energy field, your throat feels tight to me, because I'm quite intuitive, so I can feel what clients feel. So your throat feels tight to me, but actually I can see it's linked to a male energy. Talk to me about that. And that's where then the conscious coaching comes in.
Wow, so that's your USP.
Yeah, because I use all 4 bodies into that framework.
Interesting. Okay. So going back to running this as a business.
Yeah.
How do you get your clients? Where do they come from?
So my clients mainly come from Instagram's where I spend a lot of time. But if we're talking business, and for people, I want people to listen to this episode and be like, oh my God, like there was all these different things. Because like you said, you can see me on Instagram and be like, oh wow, great. But that's not it. I have a WhatsApp group. I have email marketing. I come on podcasts like this. I'm constantly at networking events, right? I think one year, was it last year? No, last year I took a break. The year before, I was burnt out from being at so many events because you have to create visibility. I'm on Instagram. I'm stepping into the world of LinkedIn. I've not got there yet, but it's something I want to kind of go and explore. I've got a podcast. It's called like Omni Marketing. You have to be on several different platforms and they all feed into each other. Yeah. So on my podcast, I'll say, come hang out with me on Instagram. On Instagram, I'll say, go and listen to my podcast. On my emails, I'll say, oh my God, click an explore call here. Let's have a chat. Like it all feeds into each other.
Yeah, yeah.
So if you were to say, where do you get your clients from? My standard answer to that's going to be Instagram. Yeah. But I don't know, they might have listened to 10 podcasts before that.
Yeah, yeah. I love that. And do you do it all yourself or do you have a team?
Yeah, I do it myself.
You do it all yourself? Oh my God. Okay.
Yes. Yeah. So,
do you not worry about getting burnt out, as you said earlier, with the networking?
So I took a break from networking.
Yeah.
I'm back this year. Guys, I'm back.
Invite her.
Yeah. So anybody... And the reason I got burnt out was because I swear to God, one year, everything happens in West London. Everything always happens in West London.
Yeah.
And one year, I think I was down here every single month. And everyone always laughs because they're like, I don't shy away from talking. And everyone's like, Aman, we hear you before we see you. And with this accent in a group of women that are all Londoners, everyone knows who I am, right?
Yeah,
when I'm like, hi.
Yeah.
But yeah, what was the question?
So you do all of it yourself?
Yes, so I do all of it myself. The
all of it.
burnout, I used to have a social media manager.
Okay.
Because again, the other thing I think is important when starting a business is knowing your why. So my why of doing coaching was because I wanted South Asian women to know that there's a different way. But my why of running my own business, because I wanted to be with my kids. I wanted to do drop-offs. I wanted to do pickups. I wanted to do that all. So to do that, I got a social media manager involved because that I felt that side of it was taking up all of my time and it was just too much. And I kind of took a step back and thought, hang on, I'm taking away from why I'm doing this. So actually my profit was less because I had to step into my why and hire a social media manager. So I think it's really important for anybody going into business to, what is your why? Because if your why is, and I was really lucky that my husband's business runs the household, so the pressure wasn't on for me, and I could hire that social media manager. Other people's why is going to be different and they may need that revenue. But after a while, actually, I don't work with anybody anymore and I do it myself because experience and stuff, you learn how to do it, don't you?
Yeah. Okay. That's good. And how long did it take you from step into doing it yourself?
I would say I realised I've been doing it for 2 years now by myself. Yeah.
That's good. So the podcast and all of that you've done yourself.
Did it myself.
Wow.
My God.
Tell us about your podcast.
Talk about burnout. I didn't sleep the entire night that I launched it.
Is that because you were uploading or why didn't you?
Yeah. So what happened was I launched it 5th of Jan this year. And it was something that has been on my radar for ages, and I've been wanting to do on my little pod. I like my little mic I had for ages. I ordered it and I just wasn't doing it, and I was putting it off and putting it off. And I knew it was going to be good because I love to talk. But for some reason, it was just something that was going on the back burner. And I forced myself. I put a date out there before I had any episodes recorded, and I was like, right, podcast has been launched 5th of Jan. And then I was like,
you told your Instagram fans?
Told everyone. I had that accountability because I was like, now I've got to do it, right? And funny enough, over Christmas, it was, I don't know if you remember, everybody kind of felt ill.
Yeah.
I lost my voice.
Only you, Aman. You just talk too much.
Yeah,
and then you
so
lose your voice.
exactly. I lost my voice. I was ill. And I was like, Now, because I work on the 4-body framework with clients, I live my life by this, right? So I knew that, yes, I'd lost my voice because I was ill, but I knew there was more to that. I knew I'd lost my voice because I was scared. I knew I'd lost my voice because I needed to do that. So this was a challenge. I knew it was some sort of something manifesting in me.
Yeah.
So I doubled down on all of my tools. I doubled down on everything I do with clients because I embody that myself. I embody that work myself. And I was like, right, I'm going to work past this. I'm going to do it. And if you listen to my intro, I don't think you can actually hear it, but it was one of those where I'm forcing my voice. And I was like, right, one day I recorded the intro, then the next day I recorded that. And the reason I was up so late, it was because I was re-recording episodes because I got my voice back.
Oh my God.
And I was like, I am putting this out there.
And how many did you put out that day?
4. So I had 4 episodes and I keep them nice and short, like they're 10 to 20 minutes, just because I want them bite-sized. I know women are busy. I know everyone's on the go and I want them just so accessible. I want people to just be getting nuggets of information and be like, oh yeah, okay, great. So I do that on purpose. 4 episodes, and the launch day was phenomenal because in 24 hours, I had 600 downloads.
That's amazing.
Yeah, it was just like phenomenal. It was brilliant. So people were just downloading, sharing. I was getting amazing messages of feedback. So it was a really, really successful launch.
And how long did you put it off?
I'm going to say a year.
A year?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Why?
Why?
Why, Aman? You like to talk. You've just told us.
Yeah, I think... I don't want to say it was what will people say, but I think a little bit it was, I'm opening myself up to a wider audience, criticism. I'm opening myself up to almost like people, I thought, people are going to think, who does she think she is? That kind of thing. Underlying, there was those feelings, but I think one of the main things is, if you go to episode 4, there's a really big episode for me about my dad and the journey of kind of stepping into this energetic side of me and my dad passing away. And I think there was an element of, I didn't want people to think I'm using dad's story, but I knew it had to be told because it was such a big part of me. So I made that episode 4 because I was like, this has to go out as well.
Wait, people connect with people.
Yeah.
So until they don't know, so well done for sharing.
That's actually the most downloaded episode.
Really?
Yeah.
So see, you needed to be told.
Yeah.
Proof is in the pudding, as they say. So, I mean, how do you prepare and show up for clients when you're having a bad day? Because I've seen you on stories sometimes when you're having a bad day and you share it. You're very open about it. But let's say you've got a client booked in 30 minutes later.
Yeah, no. So my daily routine, I meditate, I work out. I don't work out daily, sorry. I work out around 3 times a week. I walk. So for me, movement is huge. Like I have to move to shake off any energy, shake off anything that I'm feeling. Meditation is huge for me. I'm level 1 Reiki certified, so I Reiki myself, self-Reiki. I clear my own energy. It's real. My energetic hygiene is really important to me. And I have to have that on point on a daily basis to be at my top level for my clients. Okay. And if I'm having a bad day, I will quite literally drop. It doesn't matter if I'm working on content. It doesn't matter if I'm working on anything. I will drop that. I will go do what I know I need to do to bring up my frequency for them.
That you can then show up for that client.
Yeah.
So when clients work with you, so you do, is it a 30-minute free call first?
Yeah, so a 30-minute consultation.
And how long, is it packages you do, or do you bespoke it for everybody?
It depends on when I jump on with a call with somebody, we will talk and I will gauge what it is. So I work 6 months one-to-one with people, but it might be that you come to me, Veena, and I'm like, I'm not sure that you need 6 months together. Let's do a VIP day instead. Let's spend the day together and take it from there. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm not going to say, and this has happened often, I'm not going to say to somebody, oh my God, work with me for 6 months, thinking that they don't need it. I'll say, we can always extend, we can always re-sign. Let's go with the day first.
And what's a VIP day?
So a VIP day is when you spend the day with me virtually, and I have kind of like a skeleton program that we're working through, but what comes up on the day is what we will kind of work through on the day, really.
How many hours is that?
10 till 3.
Okay.
Yeah, so it's quite intensive, quite a lot. We have our breaks in between, have lunch breaks, coffee breaks, wee breaks, all of that.
Yeah.
And then after that, you get a month in Telegram with me as well. So because I don't ever work with you and then leave you to just figure it out.
Yeah.
In the Telegram, and I'm working with a client at the minute that's just coming off. She's finished a VIP day and we're in week 3 of Telegram. And even now, like, she's like, oh, I'm in this. I went to work and actually this is triggering me and that's triggering me. And we're working through it. We're coaching through it in the Telegram support.
Brilliant. So that's a lot. South Asian women go through a lot at the best of times. So I can imagine what sort of things are coming through. People are offloading onto you. How does that work with your mental state?
So again, it's that energetic hygiene. After each client, I will cut my cords. For anybody listening that doesn't understand what that means. So when we have interactions on a daily basis, we are energetically attached. After this, Veena, me and you are going to be energetically attached. So if I'm sat here going, oh my God, Veena, that's such a bad day, all of that, you're going to feel a little bit drained after that, right? So you will then cut your cord from me. That's what I do with clients. I'm not saying clients are draining, but what I mean is that interaction then sits in my energy field. So I will cut and clear from that to be able to move on to the next.
Question for you. What if someone's going through something really intense, some sort of domestic violence or just something really bad, and you know that they need to go and seek some professional advice, whether it's going to the police or it's going to see their doctor? Is there a limit to what you can do? What happens?
For sure. Again, and this is why I have these consultations. I've had ladies on a call talking to me about what she's going through, and I'll say, I'm not the right help for you. Let me give you details of somebody. And I have details of somebody that then I can pass on and say, go and speak to this lady, go and speak to this organisation. They're going to be able to help you. And whether I've had clients come to me and tell me that they've been sexually abused, again, I will say, you need to get the correct method of help for this.
Okay. So when you work with South Asian women, any reason why it's just South Asian women?
Yeah, so to start with, it started off as I just ended up attracting South Asian women. And then when I realised it, I was like, okay, I'm going to niche to South Asian women because my messaging and content then is fine-tuned to them. So if you go and have a look at my Instagram, I talk about things like immigration, how we're, as South Asians, parents immigrated here and they always were taught to conform. They didn't want to rock the boat. And that conformity has then come down to us and transpires into us not speaking out. So it's very being South Asian has a lot of holds a lot of aspects in not feeling good enough or not being able to speak out. And I by no means am dissing being South Asian. I love being South Asian. I love being British Asian. But it's just that those facts, those things have a knock-on effect on how we feel.
Yeah. South Asian women, very complex characters.
Yes, we are. There's so many layers to us. There's so many layers to being a wife, being a daughter-in-law, not, like I said, putting everybody else before us. And these are things that all have a knock-on effect to self-worth. So somebody may not actually realize that they don't hold a lot of self-worth in themselves, or they don't have self-belief. So a lot of what I do in my content is, do you feel like this? Because actually that's your self-worth. And people go, oh, I never realised that. A lot of people that listen to the podcast say, oh, I resonate. Maybe I wouldn't have put it as self-worth though.
Yeah, South Asian women aren't very good at self-worth. Yeah. Okay, thank you. I mean, is there anything else you would like to add that tells us more about you and your business?
Me and my business? Oh, goodness. Let me have a think. I think what I would like to put out there today is anybody thinking of starting a business or anybody running a business feeling like they're up against it, it is absolutely normal. It is absolutely normal. You guys see an Instagram page or a podcast, and I've just told you the behind the scenes to the podcast. I didn't sleep all night, right? You might see the Instagram page. What you don't see is sometimes I'm working till 2 a.m. Sometimes I'm doing, because my why is I want to be there for my kids, I'm doing school pickups, I'm doing, clubs, parents' evening, all of that. And then I'll log back on at 9 o'clock. It's very normal. And one thing that always I have to remind myself all the time is, when you think, oh, when am I going to get my big break? When am I going to get my big break? It may not be a big break, and that's okay. It might be small little breaks that are the journey, are the steps. Tony Robbins didn't become the Tony Robbins we know now until 9 years after he started his business. And I remind myself that constantly.
And how long you've been doing it since 2020?
2021.
2021. So
Yeah.
you're only 4 years in yet.
Yeah.
You're doing well. You do
Yeah.
show up. You constantly show up. And I like the way you do show your highs and lows, because sometimes on stories you show that it's just a bad day.
Yeah.
And I'm going to cry.
Guys, just been crying, and that's the other thing. I think sometimes we hold too much on, oh my God, I don't want to cry. Or, I've cried this morning. I'm okay now. It doesn't mean just because you've cried this morning, the whole day has got to be bad. It's all right. I've cried this morning. I've tapped it out. I've been for a walk. I'm ready to continue with the rest of my day.
And do you get worried, like, for example, when there's not enough clients coming through?
I think that's natural. That's quite natural for any business to be like, okay, what am I going to do now? How do we switch this up now? And talking like very businessy, and I don't know if this is going to resonate with people because they might not understand the industry, but I've just come out of a launch where you do, like, I put on a free event for people, and that might be a masterclass, and you get a taste of what this work is about. And there's a lot of free value in that. So I do it to help people so that they can come to the event and understand it and work from it. But I also do it so that people can get a taste of it, and then they're like, oh my God, Aman, that was amazing. Tell me more. And then that option is there for them to jump on a 30-minute call with me. Yeah. It's my job to tell people how they can work with me. And I think sometimes we shy away from telling people how they can work with us because you're like, oh, I don't want to be too salesy. I don't want to be too in your face. But unless you do that, how is anyone supposed to know?
Yeah.
Someone said to me once, do Coca-Cola shy away from selling every day? No. Yeah, and it's not selling. Selling sounds so icky. I'm just saying, this is what I do.
Yeah.
This is how I can help you. If you want to chat, my DMs are open.
Yeah. So on that note, if you wouldn't mind looking at that camera and telling
Yeah.
the viewers how to contact you, where to find you.
So you can find me on Instagram at Aman Sunner Mentoring. DMs are always open. Feel free to drop a DM and say hi. But also on Spotify, YouTube, and Apple Play, is it?
Podcast.
Apple Podcast, that's it. You can find me on my podcast, which is Finding Your Worth From Within. If you head over to Instagram, the links are all there, so you can tap the link in my bio and find everything in there.
Is there a website?
There isn't at the moment. It's under construction.
Brilliant. Okay. And are you doing any more free masterclasses or anything coming up?
So at the moment, there isn't. But yeah, if you come and join me on Instagram, you will always hear about it. If you're on my email list, you'll hear about it. If you're listening to the podcast, you'll hear about it. So yeah.
Good. One question, actually. You said something about people work with you virtually, the VIP days. Do you do them in person as well?
I used to, but I don't anymore, simply because I feel like it's more accessible virtually. Yeah. People, rather than catching the train to where the place, it's so easy for people to just jump on a Zoom session with me. And that's how I work on the 6-month program as well. When you work with me one-to-one, we're doing Zoom sessions as well as the Telegram chat. And a lot of the magic happens in the Telegram. On Zoom, we'll do the energy clearing and stuff like that. And then the integration and the implementation happens in between our calls, but I'm coaching you through in the Telegram.
Love that. Thank you, Aman.
Thank you.
So that was Aman Sunner, the go-to self-worth mentor. So you can mostly find her on Instagram, and trust me, she's always on there. So you're going to really get a taste of working with her. So please do listen to her podcasts and catch her on Instagram. Thank you so much, Aman.
Thanks for having me, Rena.
Thank you so much for listening to this episode of Finding Your Worth from Within. If today's message resonated with you, it would mean the world to me if you could follow, rate and leave a review. Sharing the podcast with someone that you feel may benefit is the best way to help it grow and spread this important message. To stay connected between episodes, come hang out with me on Instagram @Aman Sunner Mentoring. Can't wait to see you there.